Hello everybody, Lurgs here, welcome to my channel, and today it's the Kenwood American style fridge freezer and how to level it. And you do this by adjusting the two leveling feet at the front of the unit. If the Kenwood fridge freezer is not level, the doors and the magnetic seal alignments won't line up properly. But actually when it says completely level, that is not true, and I'll explain that as we go through the video. Now this Kenwood American style fridge freezer has got 4 wheels on it, one on each corner. Now in theory, if you're putting this on a completely level floor, on a tiled or concrete floor, then it should automatically be level without having to do any adjustments. But obviously if you're putting this fridge freezer onto a timber floor, this might be different levels in different positions, so you may have a bit more trouble trying to get the fridge freezer completely level. But when the fridge freezer arrives, the 2 front leveling feet are high up, so the 4 wheels are all on the floor, and you can easily move it in and out by just giving it a push. And I'm just doing this with one hand, and although the fridge freezer is very heavy, with the 4 wheels it's nice and easy to maneuver. Make sure there's 2 of you if you're moving it at an angle. So at the moment it's on the 4 rollers. What we need to do is tighten up the leveling feet at the front, just so it slightly lifts those wheels off the floor and just locks it into position on the floor and stops it moving about. Now when the fridge freezer arrives, these leveling feet are locked up so they are not touching the floor. This allows you to move the fridge freezer in and out into position. But before I lock those feet down, I'm just going to check that the fridge freezer is level just on the rollers. Now to get this fridge freezer level, you can use a spirit level. If you haven't got a spirit level, you can use the old faithful marble or a ball. This is really useful if you haven't got a spirit level. But you need to test it in various different parts of the fridge freezer, because not all parts of the fridge freezer are completely level. And I found this out because when I put the spirit level on the actual roof of this fridge freezer, the roof actually isn't level, but the rest of the fridge freezer probably is. So make sure you test that with the ball or the spirit level on the top, and then some random shelves inside the fridge freezer. Obviously the shelves are never completely level, but as I mentioned earlier, the fridge freezer when it's level will actually slope backwards slightly, and it does this on purpose because when the doors are slightly open, when you go to close them, you want it to be leaning slightly backwards so the doors automatically close themselves through the weight of gravity. So actually we don't want to get it completely flat level. We want it slightly level, but with a slight gradient going backwards. Right, this is one of the leveling feet on the front left hand side. When they arrive, these are really stiff, and you do get a tool to move these. If you haven't got the tool or you've lost it, you can just put a flat bladed screwdriver into one of those grooves and just turn it. Now I'm turning this clockwise as I'm facing downwards, and by running it this way it's getting closer to the floor. I'm not going to tighten it up just yet. I'm just going to tighten it out with my hands just so it reaches the floor and just starts to get a bit of a grip. Now let's do the other side. There's a link above now about how to turn on the child lock on this particular Kenwood fridge freezer. That's really useful because you don't want people coming up and accidentally changing all the settings. Again, turning this clockwise as we're looking down. So just keep turning that until it reaches the floor. Now in theory this floor is completely level, it's a new floor and it's tiled. So when those leveling feet have just reached the floor and they start tightening up, take the tool and just tighten it maybe 90 degrees just to slightly lift those wheels off of the floor, just so it remains nice and sturdy. There's a link above now about how to remove the water tank from this Kenwood American style fridge freezer. And then when we've done that, we can test to see if it's level. Now if you haven't got a spirit level or a marble, it's best just to look with your eyes from a distance. And just to recap, if you're tightening the feet downwards, that will lift this freezer up. And if you're untightening the feet so they go upwards, then that will bring the freezer down. And obviously that would be the same on the other side. Make sure it's nice and sturdy. You can take your spirit level and your marble again after you've tightened the feet at the bottom. This will never be completely accurate because the roof on this fridge freezer isn't completely level. As you can see, there's a few gaps in it going from left to right, but it's pretty close. And as I mentioned earlier, the best way to do it is to look from a distance and just use your eyes and just see if it looks nice and level. But we do want it to slope slightly backwards so that the doors shut properly. This is looking pretty good. Happy with that. And just looking from a distance, this is nice and level going from left to right. And if we look from the side, we can see that it's got a bit of a gradient going from the front to the back so that the front doors close properly. Absolutely fabulous. Time for a brew. And I'll tell you what, that definitely deserves a lovely cup of tea. Oh. I hope you found that useful. Up here is a link on how to fix your sticking curtains on the curtain rails. Really good tip. And over on this side, a video on how to defrost your freezer in under 15 minutes. Thanks for visiting my channel, everyone. I really appreciate it.